bro. It's caught. I got you. Got it. It collapsed. I just squeezed into each other.
Okay. Thank you.
This fry's so fine. Okay, I'm sure y'all saw some of those hashtag shorts videos, so I don't want to relive those. However, I'm no further at my conclusion than I was the day I diagnosed this thing, and that is what caused this. Okay, now I'm not a big fan of just simply replacing parts. I do like to, although they turning us into that way, I do like to analyze things and find out what caused the problem, what caused the spring to break, collapse. Did it collapse? Did it just fatigue and break? Because only one did that. First of all, guys, they had a hard time getting the spring out. You know how a valve train set up, right? The spring sets on here, and you got two keepers that attaches to the valve so the springs will stay in place. Well, my patented spring remover, or my head tool right here, was unable to pull that off. So I got to digging around in my toolbox, and guys, look what I found. I don't know which one this go to. I don't know which one. It's a part number on here, tool number on there. Okay, remember we was dealing with Miller Special Tools at the time, so it's a Miller tool number on there. Now it almost was perfect for this car. I guess these for the little small heads. Remember the older model vehicles had the big round valve springs. Alright, this one is obviously for a small head. So I was able to get that on there. And look, you can see it, there's no attachment to hook to my spring. So I had to manually do it. Guys, when things don't go your way, just adapt. Adapt to your surroundings, guys. Adapt to your situation you're in at the present moment. Alright, I'm one of those guys that don't try not to let nothing stop you. Hell, if I had to pull out a socket, a O2 sensor socket, I would have did that. O2 socket head is like 7/8, so that's a lot larger than this, but I would have made it work. And in that hashtag short video, I had to go get a helper to use a magnet to catch those keepers. Well, okay, enough of that. My point is, or what I'm trying to get to the bottom of, is actually what causes spring to break. We all know how valve train setup work, right? It's a dual overhead cam setup, meaning there's two cams, two signifies, or we use the term dual when we're talking about two things, right? And I was talking to a guy on the internet, comment section was he was, I guess, like arguing me down about the fact that this engine do not have rocker arms. Okay, do not have rocker arms. They are in fact called followers. To this day, I'm having a hard time understanding. Now, I'm not the guy. Guys, first of all, I do not know everything. I'm always open for suggesting and hearing other people's intake. My man Jason, oh my goodness, yes, I'm open for, dude, I've never claimed to know everything, and I never would. Okay, but I'm having a hard time understanding what he was saying as far as this not being a roller rocker. The Pentastar design utilized roller rockers to, there's some lash adjusters, okay, some call them lifters. All right, how is this thing set up? Okay, yes, the lash adjuster go in there, and the rocker arm go right there. So when the cam rotate, the lobes will press on this rocker, which will in turn make the valve open and close. Now the spring that's attached to the valve will give that resistance or that movement to come back up, open and close. So if the spring breaks, it's obviously it will affect the opening and closing of the valve, right? Which will in turn lead to things like misfire. And that is exactly what I had. I had a P0305, which stands for cylinder misfire and cylinder 5. This is a bank 1 cylinder head, guys. So that means this is cylinder 1, 3, and 5. Yes, it all paying out just right. How do you know this bank won? I can explain that better if this was on the head, but it's not. But at any rate, bottom line, how did this happen? Was it just normal fatigue? Is this something they need to be aware of? Or now, it's not a new car. This is a fairly old car. It had a lot of miles on it, so you can pretty much chalk this one up to wore out, maybe. I don't know, but listen to guys. Some of the guys on the internet, they will swear by their patented Toyotas and Hondas never do this, no matter how many miles on it. Guys, I'm gonna say this. I said it before, I say it again. Every part on a vehicle has a lifespan to it. When would that lifespan, or when would that life end? Who knows? This car, I know it had over 170, I want to say, 1,000 miles. So, should you need a head at 170,000 miles? That's debatable, guys. I don't know, man. It's depending on your driving. These was loose, guys. So remember I told y'all, be careful when dealing. This is a VVT setup, which means this head or the system, oil pressures, this engine setup system is very dependent on the proper amount of oil, number one, as well as the proper amount of oil pressure. So in the event one of these are loose, what will you lose? You will essentially, there's a chance you can lose oil pressure. And if you lose oil pressure, other things in this VVT system will be affected. Okay, there's cars out there stalling out because they have no oil in them. Why do they not have oil in them? Because that's a problem with the engine. The engine is either burning it or leaking it. But at any rate, I had a lady call me, JT, they told me I need my car is stalling out. The only reason it's stalling out because I had no oil in it. Is that true? Can your car die because you have no oil in it? Yes, it is absolutely true, especially if it's a VVT setup. Okay, yes, this will definitely cause low oil pressure, which will in turn cause other fault codes. You may even get a cam sensor code because of this, guys. So everything is not electrical. I had a guy call me. He keep getting 0344. That's a cam sensor code. He done put cam sensor out the cam. Remember, that cam sensor sets right here, I want to say, and those cam tone wheels are monitored by that sensor. And I had a guy ask me about the tool and testing the tone wheels, guys. All right, guys, I have that tool somewhere, but I can't find it for the life of me. But I'm gonna tell you the biggest tool you can have for testing these camshaft tone wheel. Remember, guys, this tone wheel is pressed on the camshaft, so simply use your hand as a tool. If you can move this tone wheel in any way, shape, or form, it's loose. You will need a camshaft. You cannot buy a separate tone wheel and press this onto your camshaft. You basically would need a camshaft. All right, so this music is getting too loud in the shop, so I'm gonna shut this video down, guys. That's all I have, man. We'll talk some more about this later. Thanks.